Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Vinyl Hazard. I am back. And as you see, in a new apartment. Me and Lydia moved together, so we have a brand new apartment. This is my sort of man cave at the moment. And we are going to do the top 20, or at least my top 20 list of the best metal albums. I consider at least the best 20 metal albums of 2023. Well, now 20 there. To not make this a standard 40-minute Vinyl Hazard video when I do my top 20 each year, let's try to speed it up this time. With me I have some sparkling water because my throat is probably going to croak. So, let's have it, shall we? The top 20 best metal albums of 2023. We are starting with a Swedish band from Nässjö. They released their album let's see now, I have some notes here, so forgive me if my eyes just flack to the screen a bit. But they released this album, introducing our impending doom, on June 10th. I picked this up on a whim, really. So thought the artwork was cool because Skadvaldur, who you might also notice have done that particular artwork there, made this, and thought it was awesome. It's death thrash, and the guys, I also saw them live this autumn here in Norrköping, and really swell guys. Love this album, really good. So yeah, introducing our impending doom with Pile of Death at number 20 position. Right. Next, we have a band that should not come as a surprise for anybody. It is Obituary, and Dying of Everything. So this came out January 13th, a very early album. And described by many as the AC/DC of death metal. This is the band's 11th studio album. Many would think I have been an Obituary fan for a long time, but I have not actually. I didn't, started to really listen to Obituary until very late in life. So, brilliant death metal albums on a lot of people's top list this year, and there's a reason why. And at number 18, we have some signatures here also. We have Finnish band Kalmah, and this is a melodic death metal album. It came out on May 26th. This is the band's 8th studio album. Hailing from Finland, as I said, I started to listen to them with their previous album Palo, which is also a great album, by the way. And if you really like your melodic death metal, and if you really like your Finnish kind of death metal, Kalmah should really be your thing. This is a little bit harder than their previous album, I should say. And look at that artwork too, it's just brilliant. A brilliant album, a brilliant band. I like them very much. Alright, let's put that there. And the next one, number 17, Bloodgutter with Death Mountain. Now, this is also a death metal album, should probably be obvious by the awesome artwork. So this came out in May 5th, released on Trollsorn Records, a small label. This is the band's debut album, by the way, and they are residing in Denmark. There's actually a lot of Danish bands this year that has made the list. What more to say? What I do like about this album is that the drums are really fantastic. They are a little bit high in the mix, but they are so excellent I don't mind it. The classic HM2 death metal is really here, mid-paced, really filthy. If you like that sort of thing, you love this record. I promise you that. Right. Next is also a Danish band. Avsky om hundrede år. This is a black metal album. And for fans of Avsky, it's probably obvious why this made the list. They have always put out great albums. So this came out on March 15th and on Vendetta Records. Yeah, it's their third studio album, I believe. So if you like this is, if you like depressing black metal, but it's not suicidal black metal, you will want to listen to this. It will make you contemplate life and the misery of others, perhaps not yourself. It's a really great album, especially the instrumentals. I really like Avsky. Check them out. So number 16, Avsky om hundrede år. Right. The next, number 15, is a UK death metal band that has been hyped so much. They released a brilliant EP that came out in 2021 called Septic Funeral, and this is Coffin Mulch with Spectral Intersession. Let's just see, I have it's a little bit loose here. Ooh, patch and everything. And poster and everything there. Yeah, look at that artwork. Brilliant. So, yeah, what to say? So Coffin Mulch, they are a Glasgow-based band, I should say. This is their debut album. If you compare this to the EP that they released, I think the EP is actually a bit stronger. Not to say that this is a bad album, because you know it's number 15 on the list, so it really shines. It has some punk influences, I feel. Not quite as murky as the EP, but a brilliant debut album. The lads should be proud. If you like your Scottish metal and death metal, check Coffin Mulch out. Right, now we shall put that there, I think. Alright, where are we? 14, alright. So, Screamer comes in at number 14. This is a Swedish heavy metal / hard rock band. This came out in January 13th on Steamhammer. They are from Ljungby in Sweden here. It's their 5th album. Really like some of the songs here. This is one of the few heavy metal albums that is actually on the list this year. I think artwork is brilliant too. They have toured quite a lot now, so they are beginning to, really get their name out there. With their 5th album, I feel like they are like on a cusp of greatness, but haven't really gotten there yet. Screamer, Kingmaker, comes in at number 14. Righty. So, let's take some drink. And you probably have seen that the video quality is a little bit better too. It's because I have a new camera, or new camera phone rather. So, number 13 we have. Do you have an insatiable thirst for torment? Because Celestial Sanctuary have. So Celestial Sanctuary have released their 2nd album this year. It came out on August 25th on Church Road Records. It is UK death metal, and also might get nominated for the best artwork of the year. I really love this artwork. So what to say about this? Celestial Sanctuary always puts out quality. They did that with their 1st album, which I have somewhere in the vinyl vault. Celestial Sanctuary really hits home with me when it comes to death metal. This is a little bit more fast-paced, I feel, than their previous album. I don't mind that. So Celestial Sanctuary on number 13th. Awesome album. And number 12 we have Foretoken, and with their album Triumphs. Now this is a Virginia based band from the Hamptons, I believe. This came out on March 17th on Prosthetic Records. It's their second album. It's symphonic death metal. And if you see the cover art here, you have some sort of Centurion, Romanesque theme. But the theme around this album is really mythological themes from this era and beyond. It's orchestral. It has a big sound. I mean, it even has flutes and stuff in it. Foretoken really has hit it home. I bought their first album after I bought this album too. Really like it. So check it out if you want your bombastic symphonic melodic death metal. Alright, speaking of death metal but not symphonic, on the 11th position we have Glacial Domination from Frozen Soul. It is pure death metal, mid-paced shagginess from Fort Worth, Texas. This album came out in May 19th on Century Media Records. What to say about this? So Frozen Soul really has hit it home in the metal community. Very much, reminiscent of Bolt Thrower. Everybody says that. I think they do their own kind of songs. The influences are really clear. This album really has really cool songs. Everything from Yetis screaming in the background to snow winds, just blowing through the soundtrack or the sound. It's sometimes Frozen Soul is described as sort of simple-minded. From simple-minded to pure perfection, really. And I can agree with both of these, because it doesn't need to be, reinvigorating the whole genre to be really, really great. What Frozen Soul does, they do very good. I think that most people would argue that this is a quality release. Is it as strong as their previous? Well, I would say it's on par with it, at least. Frozen Soul with Glacial Domination. And the artwork also, by the way. Alright, we are into the top 10. Making a fairly bit of good time too. Alright, so number 10, we have a Swedish heavy metal band. Probably my favorite heavy metal release this year. This album came out on May 5th on Nuclear Blast. It's the band's 5th album, and it's Enforcer with Nostalgia. Now, awesome artwork also, by the way, many awesome artwork. Yeah, this, as I said, is the band's 5th album. Their last release was not as good as this one. This is a better release, I think. Yeah, not much to show in the back. I've listened to quite a lot of tunes on this, and especially Nostalgia, the title track, and also where Heartbeats are awesome on this album. Nostalgia is really home run for Enforcer. Check it out, will you? Number 10. Alrighty. At number 9, we have a young Swedish death metal band. They really invigorate the more Stockholm sound of death metal, because they are from Stockholm. It's their second release, and it is Exorcist, and their album At the Somber Steps to Serenity. Very much a death kind of sounding title, isn't it? Exorcist, this came out on October 6th on Prosthetic Records. As I said, it's the second studio album from this band. They are really swinging for the fences on this one. and people are start to notice them too. I think their first album was brilliant. That was what made me hooked on them. They were to tour with Dismember this summer too, so they are really ambitious. It's something that you can hear from the sound of it. Yeah, just check them out. Exorcist. All right, number 8. We have another Swedish band. This time it's some thrash metal with Lowest Creature and their album Witch Supreme. Yeah, also brilliant artwork. So this is the band's second full-length album. It's released independently on October 27th. And I could best describe this band as a Swedish kind of power trip with a more pinch of, perhaps black and speed sometimes. But if you like power trip, you will like Lowest Creature. Awesome guys. Yeah, I think they've had a brilliant future ahead of them. There's a lot of second and third albums in my list this year, I have noticed. Yeah, so Lowest Creature. Check them out with Witch Supreme. Right there. Right. At the number 7th position, starting to get the real heavy hitters now, we have a melodic black metal album / black and roll album / black and death album, depending really how you see on it. It came out May 26 on Season of Mist. They are from Atlanta, Georgia, and they are Cloak with their album Black Flame Eternal. Now, this is, I believe, I have not written it, but I think it is their third album. Yeah, it's the third album. I began to listen to them when they released their second album a few years ago, and that was really, really good. And this is better. It is really dark, riff-heavy, melodic hook, and I mean dark as hell. They are sometimes described as Gothic black metal, but I think more like black and roll. Yeah, so awesome artwork also, by the way. Really, really hooky, catchy kind of black metal, black and roll metal. If you haven't listened to Cloak, give this a spin. I think they are on a lot of other top lists this year too. So yeah, check them out. Cloak with Black Flame Eternal. Now, the next album. This one I know for a certain is on many people's top lists, and especially the top 5. This comes in at number 6 for me. It is Enforced with War Remains. And if you know Enforced, it is thrash metal with a pinch, perhaps, of death in it. But yeah, it's a fast-paced, hard thrash metal album. Came out on 28th of April this year. This was a Century Media, release. And what to say more? Richmond, Virginia band, fast as hell, probably faster than Kilgrid, their previous album. It's just, an assault of riff upon riff upon riff. It's totally uncompromising. I cannot describe or perhaps I cannot salute this album a lot. I've seen people on the YouTube community kind of drawing parallels to Slayer's Rain in Blood, that this is kind of Enforced Rain in Blood album. Is it? I don't know, but it's good as hell. Enforced, check them out if you haven't, and if you like thrash metal, just go with it. All right, top 5. Top five, yes. We are going back to Finland once again. There are going to be some death metal now, and At number 5 we have Guts, and this is Decay. Yeah, I think this album might, let's see if you can see it a bit more, it's kind of a dark artwork. Yeah, so Guts is from Finland. This is the band's debut album. It came out on March 24th. It's an independent release, but it has been quickly picked up by quite a few distributors. So this album has a very traditional, mid-paced death metal sound to it, but it incorporates a hell of a lot of groove. The vocals are very audible. It's not, like the pig squeals. You can actually hear the vocals in it. But at the same time, it's heavy as hell. And I like the lyrical content too. It's very traditional death metal content. Perhaps not about, a lot of zombies and everything. But it's about killers and stuff like that. Everything we like. It's a swinging, headbanging death metal group that really sells me on this. It is a brilliant album, a brilliant debut album. I am really looking forward to what Guts are going to put out next, because if it has the same quality as this, and it's a very traditional album, but the groove in it is it's just fucking excellent. Guts with Decay. All right. We are staying in the death metal part of town, but now we are going more for a melodic death metal with a big sound. On the 4th place for my favorite album of the year, we have Majesties with Vast Reaches Unclaimed. Also a great looking artwork here. So this album came out on March 3rd on 20 Bucks Spin. It really has this Swedish Gothenburg melodic death metal sound to it. It's huge, it's epic. Some of the tracks here are my most streamed on Spotify when I'm not have my vinyl record on it, or the vinyl on the record player on it. So this is not really a new band, so to speak. This is their debut album, by the way, but the band has been around since 2016. Really, really excellent. Probably my favorite melodic death metal album this year. Really excellent. Majesties with Vast Reaches Unclaimed. Yeah. God. Hasn't been such a long time since I made videos. My voice is just croaking up. Right, so let's go with number 3, Hellripper. What do you say? Hellripper is not your first on your first number first position, the best album of the year. It means that there are 2 albums that's better than Hellripper this year. Yeah. So Hellripper has been on everybody's list this year. Everything from the low numbers to the absolute highest numbers, and for a good reason. James McBain is just a fucking gem when it comes to writing music. This is, of course, a more melodic approach to his really fast-paced black and speed metal, black and thrash metal, and it really, you can really notice that everything has been picked up a few notches. Would I say this is my favorite Hellripper album? Yeah, probably it is, but I spin the other as much as I spin this one. So Warlocks, Grim and Withered Hags. Not much more to say about it, really. I mean, this was released pretty early in the year, February 17 on Peaceville, so it's on Peaceville now. I mean, don't know what more to say about it. Just listen to Hellripper. I know that he has actually he has made a new logo now, I think, which he published on his Facebook and Instagram a few days ago. More rippy. So we'll see if that logo is going to be a new one on his next few albums. All right, top 2. Now, the second album is a atmospheric black and folk metal album. It's the band's 5th studio album. It was released on the 27th of October on Profound Lore, and it is Wafer with American Gothic. I started to listen to Wafer with their previous album. I think this is is it their 3rd album, 4th? Maybe I'm fucking that up, but at least it's such a quality album. Now, if you haven't listened to Wafer, there are themed around Western kind of themes, and it is very noticeable in their sound. I love it for that, Western style guitar that they incorporate, and the lyrical content is awesome because they are staying in the western part. But this is this album has more of a theme with a dying Wild West. The 1920s, 30s is coming around. The Wild West has basically died out, right? But it's still there in part. And that's why it's called American Gothic, because the Gothic is more like the 20s and 30s. It's the fifth album. What more to say about this? The guitars are just awesome. I love the sound of Wayfarer. They are one of the bands I really, really look for every time they release new content. So check out Wayfarer, American Gothic, Profound War. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of this list. Made pretty decent time. So, my number 1 album of 2023 is an album that has been on the number 1 list for a few others I've seen. It is a band that introduced me to the genre of this specific music. Now, I did not listen to much funeral doom, but when this one came out, I started. So, Ahab with Coral Tombs. Now, Ahab, Ahab they describe themselves as nautical funeral doom. They are from Heidelberg, Germany. This came out very early in the year. This is one of the reasons actually why I picked them up, because we are very hungry for new albums when the year starts. And this came out on 13th of January on Napalm Records. This is my number 1 for the sole reason that it really, really introduced me to the genre, and I love this album. But I love it for more reasons than the actual sound of it, because the vocals, the instrumentals, they are all excellent. I was a little apprehensive previously around funeral doom because it's very slow paced, but Ahab really, really has a tendency to hook you and just drag you into the story of everything that this album has to offer. And I have bought their entire discography because of this album. I love the content of it. I love the theme. I'm a huge Jules Verne nerd. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is probably my favorite story of his. The film from 1954, with Kirk Douglas and James Mason. Going underwater with the Nautilus. It captivates the childhood imagination of things, and Ahab does it brilliantly in this album. And I even bought I even bought a patch Ahab on my vest this summer. That's how much this band really has influenced me. And now I'm starting to listen to a lot of, funeral doom. It's a band that has opened a whole new scene for me in music. So I'm very thankful for that, and that is why they are my number 1 pick for the best metal album of this year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening if you have stayed with me all this time. There will be new videos now coming out. I said that last year too, but there will. Because now I have my setup, I have my new camera. There's going to be a lot more content, I promise you that. So, with that said, may the metal gods be with you, my friends. Happy New Year. I hope 2024 will be a good year for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.